Hello everybody, Kirk here with Space Pickle Designs, and today I thought I'd do a little show and tell with everything that I made from last month's bargain bead box, and also my approach this month. A lot of us are getting ready for craft shows for the holidays, and so this is kind of how I take bead boxes and try to use them to their fullest extent in order to get ready for craft shows. So if you'd like to see this video, then just keep on watching. Alright, I just wanted to show you what I had left out of the bargain bead box here. So this is how I kind of cannibalize my stash. I'll kind of show you. So I used quite a few of these jump rings actually. I found that the brass color was a little hard to match with my own stash, so I really appreciated that they included some of those jump rings. I used a whole roll almost. There's like 6 inches left here. I'm gonna go ahead and peel that off and put that in with our scrap pieces in my scrap bucket here. As you can see, there's various scraps of wire, cotton, leather, soft flex. All right, this is just trash in there, so don't pay attention to that, but I had a couple of the ear wires left, some of these jump rings. This will go in the trash or for my recycling. And then we had some of this chain, and so this is actually a good bit of chain, but I'm gonna bring my metal bead soup here, and I just kind of put that right up in there along with these 2 little leaf pendants. Put those in there. I got like 8 connectors here. So those connectors will go in there, and then I got these little spacers. Those will also go in there. And I think I had 1 bead cap as well, which was weird. It was like I got an odd bead cap, so I'll just put that guy in there. And so there's no more metal components. I do have some crystals. I have a crystal specific bead soup here, and there's like 10 of these crystals. I'm not gonna bag them up and put them in my stash, so I'm just spooning them out. This is what I do almost every month, so I can reuse my things. So I also have 4 of these like not hexagon but star cut crystals here, and then I had one lonely bicone. And so with that, I had 3 of these left over, and these were like the oblong shaped jasper, and I actually bought a crap ton extra from their extras on bead box bargains, and so I'm just gonna stick those in with them because I just really loved this box. And so that will go in my stash, and then I have these little gemstone beads right here, and I will tie this off so that we can use them together. So I'll just tie that off in a little knot. Let's see. Yep, that'll keep it on. And I will trim this here, and then I will close this up. I'll clean that out later. And I will just toss this as one piece in my bead soup. And as you can see, my bead soup is getting pretty full, so it's time to do some bead soup giveaways. And that's just like where I can, you know, I'll put these in my metal stash too. I'll take my bead soup, make big old Ziploc baggies for it, and then give it away. I like doing that because it's fun. You never know what you're gonna get. I don't really feel comfortable selling it. You know, it's like onesies and twosies. But so yeah, let's go ahead and get into the projects. Okay, so the first thing here, this is my one and only set that I made from the box, because if you're talking about craft fairs, I don't know about you, but sets just do not sell for me. They do not really sell on Etsy for me either. My biggest sellers are earrings, and then bracelets, and then necklaces. And so I've sold very few necklaces. But I think a lot of times my necklaces are just like really out there, so people just really aren't into that. I feel like this one could probably sell just because it's so cool. But this would be a set here, and if I were to sell this at a craft fair, I'd probably sell this as a $20 set, and that means you get your bracelet, your earrings, and your necklace. So I'll zoom you in so you can see the pieces. You kind of already saw the necklace already if you saw my tutorial on that, but here are the earrings. And I just made these with the components, the chandelier components, some chain from the box, and then those really cool like pine cone charms. And then we have the bracelet here, and I just used a magnetic clasp, but I also used German style wire for the links in gold. So it is a two-tone, but I really like this one. It brings in those pine cone components along with 3 of the oblong jaspers, and then the rest of my rounds. These are my 8mm rounds. This one was in the tutorial that I had posted yesterday. Again, just using some of that cotton cord with my really cool pendant, using some of the connectors and then some of the chains. So this is a really cohesive set. Again, I would probably sell this for 20 bucks for all 3 pieces. And I think that's a pretty good deal when you are considering that this is handmade. But for this one in particular, I probably won't use her in the like craft fairs that I'm gonna do this year. I'm probably just gonna give this set to my mom because it just really reminds me of like West Virginia. So I thought I would send it to her. The next thing I'm gonna show you is these really cutesy little pair of earrings here. I just had like a couple beads left of everything, and so I just used 2 of the little pumpkins, 2 of the bead caps on the bottom. I used a head pin of my own, a hematite, and then 2 of the bicones, and I used the ear wires from the box. I would also sell this for $5. This is just an easy $5 pair. Not too much skill involved other than the combination of beads, right? All you had to do was turn a loop on this guy here, and so $5 is reasonable enough for me. Actually, the first project that I made from the box were these stretch bracelets, and I really love a stretch bracelet. Stretch bracelets are always going to be in style just for their like ease. You don't have to fool with a clasp. Like they've just always been around. Like it's just a thing. And so when I saw these absolutely stunning, beautiful jasper beads, I mean, are you seeing this story? Are you seeing this story? Like all I did was put O beads, and this was in like a Maria color, and so I just put the O beads in between and then use these little bronze metal beads here to hide the knot, and then I glued them. And so my first tip or trick when you're doing craft shows is to find a design that you like and that it's easily like replicable. So if you find that you have one design that just really sells over and over again, just make multiples of that. You can also do like an assembly line. A lot of people that do jewelry making for like hobbies do not like the thought of doing an assembly line because it's like, why would I make 500 of the same thing? But for me, I actually like that, like, I know it sounds weird, but I kind of like the monotony of it because like you can spend all your time up front coming up with a really cool design, and it's simple. Most of the time, the simple designs are the ones that sell the most because they're the ones that people wear, right? And so, you know, not everybody is this like jewelry connoisseur who wants to make a statement all the time. And so something like this is approachable for males and females. And so, you know, if you can make it unisex, even the better, because you're appealing to a lot of different audiences, right? So I made 2 of these, and then I made 2 of these because I was running out of, I think these are made with the 10mm beads here. And so I think I actually had to break open another strand and use like 2 beads extra out of it. But you could easily make 1 and then have some left over if you only got the 1 box. So same kind of design here. I use that bead right there to hide the knot, and then I just use these spacer beads. And yeah, I just like how they turned out. I think it was like really cool. And then again, following that theme, you know, making the multiples, you find the design that works for you. And like, I knew for sure that I was not going to put these crystals with the jasper. I just wasn't ever going to do that. And so I was thinking of a cool way to make bracelets out of these crystals, you know, using them all, but making them their own thing that would sell in their own right. And again, like all of these bracelets would be a $5 item. Like until we get to the wire chain ones, all these bracelets are $5. It's an easy $5 thing. And so what I did here was use bone colored soft flex, and I used some vintage buttons that I had in like a bone color, Again, so word to the wise though, if you are predominantly selling online and you still want to do like follow this type of like methodology, make sure that every single component is the same. So this looks the same, right, in design, and if you can see there, but if you look closely, the buttons are all the same color, but one has a different design. So that's like a no-go, right? Now, if you're selling in a booth, that's fine because people are going to be able to see it and they're going to be like, okay, I know that whatever, this is a little bit different, right? But you cannot list this under one listing. You can list two under one, right? Because you're going to have pictures of this button and what it looks like. And then you can list this one separately, but that makes it like double the amount of work. So I didn't have another button that matched that, but just word to the wise, if you are looking for efficiency in listing, then by all means make every single thing the same. And I'm talking down to the beads count that you use for your loops and the method that you use to crimp, because customers will notice those details, right? And so you want them to come back to your store because you're reliable and you have nice products. And so these are just the little details that you really have to pay attention to. All right, again, that goes for this little pump that I had here as well. For the first one, I used the magnetic clasp that came in the box just because I wanted to, but I had so many crystals left over that I reached into my stash and got these other magnetic clasps. And so I made these all in the same way, just two have the same clasp and one has the one from the box. And so like if I was smart, right, I think this is the one that I'm probably just going to keep, so I wouldn't have to list this one on its own. I just really like it by itself. But in the future, like had I been smart and I wanted to list like 5 at a time, which is more in your investment, right? If you have a piece that sells really well, make it the exact same way and make them all in bulk, and then you can just add that to your listing, and then you have like a 5 count instead of having to list every single thing. Now, if it's a side hustle, good for you. Like, do you? If you like to make unique one-off pieces and your price can reflect that, because like this is a $5 piece. Like, it's just a $5 piece, right? And so, you know, getting the most out of your time will help with these really affordable pieces like this, because I'm going to tell you right now, a lot of people don't like spending more than that, $5-10 on a piece of jewelry, even if it's handmade. So make it more advantageous to you as a seller, and you know, take shortcuts where you can, not quality, but like in listing and all that. All right, and then next to last, I used Soft Flex again for these, and these are all exactly the same. Crimped exactly the same, using the exact same findings, the exact same number of beads. And again, these are $5 bracelets, and I think they're really, really cool. This, to me, I love that. I love seeing like a big little, like it's tiny, but it's like it packs a punch, right? Like in the sunlight, you're gonna see, you know, you're gonna see this thing coming. But the thing is here, I had one strand of bicones, right? So if you go to the bargain bead box store and you like these kind of bracelets, right? You go to the bargain bead box store, normally these, you can find like a strand of these bicones for like $1.20. Then you take your 30% off coupon. If you have it, it's around $1. And if you make 3 bracelets with this, then you're spending 30 cents on the bicone, roughly, right? What you do is you find a color of Soft Flex that you like that complements the beads here. And then you just use clear beads as spacers. So you're still getting that nice bicone punch, so to speak, but you are spreading your beads out just a little bit farther. Had I not used the clear seed beads, which are super affordable, it's like the most affordable seed bead that you can get, right? Clear, plain clear crystal. Had I not used those, I probably would have struggled to get 2 bracelets out of there. And these are 6 3/4, almost a 7-inch bracelet here. I find that that's like a really popular size. And so yeah, these if you had these for $5 at a marketplace, then you are making, including the soft legs and your finding, which are, you know, you're finding here, you can get a bulk bag of these off of BB Craft or Fire Mountain Gems. Any of your bulk stores, you can get a 50 pack for maybe 10 bucks. So all that being said, you're doubling your investment at least by doing something simple like this. And I really like these because you can actually put them together. Like say if somebody wanted to buy 2 or 3, this one, using the magnetic clasping, this can be a necklace. They just buy 3, that's $15. And then you can sell charms that they use that they can just hook over it, like using a big lobster that they can just hook on there. And I find that like the versatility is kind of what sells it a little bit. So last batch that I have for you using the beads from the bargain bead box from last month are these 5 bracelets using magnetic clasps. And these are just simple looped components. And so a lot of times you will get like a long strand of these like micro gemstones in the bargain bead box, other bead boxes as well, right? And like, yeah, they're good for spacers and some things, but if you like, I'm telling you, the dainty style for some reason is just always going to be in. And so this is just a really simple little bracelet that goes with everything, that is handmade. These things do sell. I find that they sell more in person than they do online. But these are 5 of the exact same bracelets made in the exact same way with the exact same amount of components. There is a little variation in the tone of the stone, but me making all these loops, and if you use a simple looper, it's even going to be easier for you. These are all handmade for me, so I just sat on the couch with my wire, my pliers, and this string of beads, and I just went to town making these components while I was watching my son, watching TV. And then I find the amount of components that work for about a 7-inch neck or bracelet. This one's just slightly over here, as you can see. And so honestly, because these are more time intensive, I would probably try to sell them for like $8. But even if you sold these for 5, just say 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, 70, 75, 80, 85, 90, 95, and then you're set for 20. That'll be 115 right here. Say like you sold everything, 115. You spent $23 on the box, so we're looking at say 90. And say I used a couple of magnetic clasps, some cotton cording, a whole roll of soft flex. So even say like be saved another $20, which is probably not even close. You know, you could potentially make $50 to $70 on this, and that's being fair to your customers, fair to yourself, and really still having the fun of opening up a bead box every month and, you know, enjoying that part. So you could take your hobby to the next level if that's what you want to do. If not, like, that's cool too. But also, you spent $30 essentially with all your extras and everything, right? And you have you have like 20 Christmas gifts, right? So I hope that this helped a little bit. I'm gonna zoom out and like kind of show you everything again, and we'll talk. All right, so I hope you enjoyed that video and a couple of those tips and tricks for gearing up for our craft shows this holiday season. Let me know down below what your best-selling item is for your craft shows, and how many you're going to do this season. Anyways, I hope everybody's staying safe and well and warm. It's very snowy here in Colorado, but I will catch you in the next one, guys. Bye.